TRYLOSOPHY podcast. We're back. It's been a while. All right. We have a very special guest for you today. You have our first international guest. I'd like to welcome professional boxer Paddy Gallagher, the 2010 Commonwealth Games gold medal winner of Belfast, Ireland. What's up, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Very, very good, man.
Keeping busy?
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, I gotta stay on top of things. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Just taking over a bit of training. I'm out with an injury, but just biding my time, keep going. Then we're getting a few fights sorted. Hopefully 2 by the end of the year. So plenty going on.
All right. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and like for instance, like how did you get into the sport of boxing?
Well, it was around my area and around Belfast. Boxing has got bigger and bigger over the last 30 years now, especially Irish boxing in general. It's getting bigger. Back when I was about 13, a friend of mine, he done a bit of boxing and he asked me to go up one day and I went up just for the fun of it. I really enjoyed it. But one of the main reasons why, the Rocky film, I used to love watching Rocky 3. Where he fought Clubber Lang. Back then, I'm sure yourself when you're a kid, that looks all legit. You look back now, it doesn't look so real, but back then it was unbelievable. So I really loved Rocky 3, and I really wanted to try it. Sometimes he offered me one time, and up I went, and then I've been into it. I've been sucked in ever since.
Very, very good. How old were you?
About 13, I think it was.
All right, and then ever since then, it was just off to the races then, huh? Amateurs and all that. And
yeah, that's it. Well, I was just doing it sort of as a hobby until I was about maybe about 17 or 18. I was just doing it and not really concentrating and stuff. And then when I got to around 18, I started really taking it serious and really got into it. And that's when I started to get all my success.
All right. So I mean, I can only assume. I don't want to assume, so that's why I'm going to ask you this. So, since you're from Ireland, I want to ask like how big the sport of boxing is in Ireland. I mean, I can only assume it is big, but since you are from there, and I mean, I know it's really big in England, and like, I mean, you guys are all part of the UK anyways. So, tell me about that. Huh?
Be careful you say that too. Careful you say that too. No, well, Ireland and England, obviously, they're different. There is the whole different thing going on, but they're different countries. Obviously, the south of Ireland, and there's north of Ireland, and there's England, Scotland, and Wales. It's all a bit complicated, but we'll not go into that.
All right, my bad.
Boxing is massive. It's Ireland's most successful sport. They've got Olympic and world champions time after time over the years. Professional, amateur, it's getting better and better. European after European titles and medals and Commonwealth Games winners and the world champion with Mick Conlon. Katie Taylor, Michael Kruth as the Olympic champion, and no other sport has even came close to getting the success as boxing has. So it is Ireland's #1 sport, and like I said, it's getting bigger and bigger. I'm sure, obviously, being a big fan of boxing, you think of boxing maybe 15 years ago, you heard about the odd Irish person making an impact in the global scene, but now it's getting bigger and bigger, amateur and professional. So it is getting massive, really massive.
Absolutely. Katie Taylor, Mick Conlon, like you said, his brother Jamie Conlon. I mean, and you got I'm sure having Conor McGregor out of Ireland didn't hurt the combat sports scene. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I'd say, well, MMA, that's really creeping up. It's getting close to boxing.
But I mean, he's just such a huge superstar. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, that's it. Well, he's only ever had one boxing fight, and it was against the greatest. Of our generation anyway, Mayweather. So he's done something good, and he's definitely brought boxing a lot bigger anyway.
For sure.
Which is good. Anybody who contributes to the sport and makes it better and better, and gets it more notice and does good to the sport, that's not a harm whatsoever, is it?
No, absolutely not. So I was watching, the WBC tournament, the Jose Sulaiman tournament that you were in.
Yeah.
a whole bunch of undercard fights, and were you the co-main event?
Well, ours was the it was all about obviously the Jose Solomon tournament. So there was 4 fights were the main event, and mine was one of the 4 fights because they were the quarterfinals.
That's right.
And
That's okay.
the 27th April in Kentucky, and the semi-finals are, I think it's the 24th or 25th of August in Toronto, Canada, and then there'll be 2 fights. Obviously, the semi-finals will be the main fight, and then later in the year, maybe November, December, will be the final. I'm not sure where.
Sure. So when I watched that fight, I mean that's the first time I ever saw you fight, and I was like, who is this guy? You know, like damn, you knocked down Brad Solomon in the first round. I mean, he said you hit him in the back of the head. I rewatched the fight yesterday. You barely like just faded him with in back of the head. It was not really a hit to what I can see. The announcers also, the analysts are also, it looked like a body shot to me. But damn, dude, you were just throwing some haymakers. I liked your. I mean, that's what you gained a fan that night because I mean, gosh, man, there's so many damn fights that night. It was just undercard after undercard, and I mean, by the time I was done watching, it must have been like 1 a.m. here or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
it went all into the night. So it's like, damn, this guy's a real tactician. He goes forward, but he's careful. He's very careful, you know. So I'm like, yeah, I got to talk to this guy.
Yeah, well, that's good. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And yes, that was one of the best performances I've had of my career, maybe the best.
And it was your US debut.
Unfortunately, I did not get it, but I have a very fan-friendly stage. I mean, people back here, like I've had, I think it's 17, 18 fights now, and there's only been ever one of them is born or not have drama, such as a knockdown or toe-to-toe wars or a knockout. You know what I mean? I've had most of my fights, my wins, I think it's like 70% of my wins are by knockout. First rounders and all as well. So very fan friendly style. People like to see wars, like to see knockdowns, like to see knockouts, like to see drama. And each time I give it to it, there's only ever been one of my fights where we didn't get that. And I was sort of a takeover fight of one guy, he was a journeyman, and he just wanted to get the 4 rounds in because he had a fight a week or two later. He came to me after and said, "Sorry, we couldn't make that a good fight, but I have to get a paycheck in 2 weeks, and I'm not taking risks." But yeah, well, like you said, you enjoyed the fight as well. I've always been a bit of a scrapper, in a good way. I like to have a good turn up and all as well. But I've really changed my game and sort of thought about it a lot more. Worked on my feet, work, bit of head movement, keep my distance and all. Something that I really lacked in my whole career. And my coach Jared, he's really drilled it into me the last year or so, and it came out in that fight. And it's going to get better and better because I've been working on that, and I've only been doing it over the last year or so now, sort of boxing a lot smarter. I've been watching things and keeping my balance a lot better and being smarter rather than just going gung-ho. It's because I can take a shot. I can take a shot good, and that can be my problem sometimes. I don't mind taking a shot to give one, which can be a bit too much.
Yeah, if you a lot of guys that like the Mexican style or the Mexican boxers, they tend to do the same kind of style, go forward and just get into wars. And sometimes if you do that very early in your career, you can see someone's career doesn't not lasting very long just because just the type of punishment that you can take. So that was
wear and tear in the career.
For sure. But if you're fan friendly, but keep going, like you're saying, you're working on your leg movement, your head movement, and just kind of getting a little more technical. I think that's good, and even with your style, because you just have it looks like you're not afraid to punch and go forward, but like in that fight, you were very careful also, you know what I mean? So you weren't just out there trying to get hit, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
So this fight
against Solomon. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so I'm sorry. So this fight was your U.S. debut, right?
Yeah. Okay. I fought as an amateur a few times, and
as a pro.
That was the first time as a professional. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess if you've already been to the U, I don't know. How was your visit to Louisville, Kentucky?
It was unbelievable. I think we were for 6 days or a week. I'm not sure, and I've told a lot of people back here. Everybody asked me how was it and stuff. It was unbelievable. Everything apart from result was unbelievable, perfect. We were well looked after. It was a brilliant company in the Real Deal Promotions. They looked after us brilliant. I was with my two coaches, who are friends of mine as well. I mean, they're coaches before they're friends. But I had a bit of fun. We enjoyed ourselves, and I made the weight good, and so that had a good night. It was a brilliant experience, and getting to America, obviously the fight and expenses paid and all, it's brilliant. So I really enjoyed it. So that, like I said, everything apart from the result, but you have to take it in the chin, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I watched the fight that night, and I watched the fight.
Yeah.
I think 2 more times after that. I mean, whether I'm scrolling or whatever, I'm trying to analyze whatever I can, and
yeah.
I mean, that night, and I told you yesterday too. You clearly won the fight in my eyes, and it looked like in the broadcaster's eyes. And that sucks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. You have 5 judges.
It was a new rule, and I definitely won the fight. Didn't get the result, but I won the fight because I had him down in the first round. It was a clear knockdown, regardless of who says. It was a clear knockdown. The referee gives it a knockdown. I think the judges scored it as a knockdown. And after 5 rounds, I was 3 judges ahead by 3 or 4 points. One judge had me down by 4 points, and one judge had a draw. So I only needed to win. I think the way it worked out, I needed to win was 1 more round out of the last 5. And he came in a wee bit, and he did win a few rounds. But I won the 9th round. Well, arguably the 9th round, I definitely 100% won the 10th round. So I should have got it. So I was, at worst, that was 5 rounds apiece with my knockdown. So there was no way that I was beat that night.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is what it is. It's boxing. People, maybe they seen it boxing, different, or I don't know.
I don't know. I thought that shit was clear as day, man. So I mean, so anyways, okay, you went. So when I was seeing you fight, I was like, and throwing those haymakers, those huge, power punches. I was like, because. Chia Santana is a friend of mine. He's from Santa Barbara. I'm originally from Oxnard. He lives in Ventura in California, SoCal, right there. So
I've seen stuff on your page and stuff a few times.
Yeah, so I was watching you and I was like, oh man, I hope Chia doesn't have to. I mean, I told Chia like after he won his fight, I told him, dude, I was scared for you, man. If you had to face face Paddy, bro, he's throwing those haymakers like he's gonna knock you out, dude. I was like,
me and Chia, as we're supposed to fight, and then just the way things worked out, we were in the substitute.
Yeah, you guys
we were supposed to be fighting right? for the place, but it didn't work out as well. But Chia's one of the nicest fellas I've met. That's, as you know him as a friend, but. Went over, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know of him or nothing. I seen him, and he was 100% straight up, and he was talking away, and me and the boys, I had a good bit of crack, good bit of fun with him for the first few days and stuff. And straight after my fight, when I went in the changing room, and he was getting ready, he was a fight or 2 away after me. He was getting more enough for the fight and getting in the zone. And after I came out of my fight, went in the changing room, he was our luck really gutted. You should have won that and all, but stay about, and we'll go have some dinner after. So. Show me what kind of guy he is. So he's getting ready for probably the biggest fight of his life, obviously against Diaz. He was favourite to win the whole competition, but there he is after me for dinner.
He was the number one seed,
condolences to me. It was good that way, and that night it was an unbelievable performance from him. It was good because we were actually sitting next to his wife, and we're cheering along with me and my coaches, and we were sitting ringside against beside his wife, and we're going for it. Unbelievable performance. It was a good night and all as well.
No, for sure, man. Like you said, Chia is a very nice guy. I met him the first time I met him. I mean, the guy was just, he's just a really nice guy. So moving on, it looks like you broke your jaw in, was it sparring last June as you were getting ready for your next fight?
A week and a half before my fight.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on the Carl Frampton card now.
No, it was the Michael Conlon one.
Oh,
it was the Michael.
That's right. It was his return home, right?